Hi everyone, my name is AD and welcome back to ArtSpot Online, the online version of the free weekly drop-in art making program for children and families at the Tampa Museum of Art. Today we're going to learn about red-figure pottery from ancient Greece and create a drawing inspired by Red-Figure Calyx Krater with everyday materials. So this particular kind of ancient Greek pottery is known as a red-figure calyx krater. A krater is a type of Greek pottery used for mixing wine with water. So why would you do that? So, well, sometimes you would mix water and wine to make the wine less strong. Sometimes you would also mix fruits and spices in there too to make it taste better. Sometimes you would add the wine to water to purify and improve the taste of less clean water sources. So that's what kraters are for. They're for mixing water and wine. And you can tell it's a krater because of its size and its shape. Right? Both of those things are major hints about how it was used. Just looking at it, you can tell that it can hold a lot of liquid, so it has these pretty hefty handles to help you move it. It has a very large mouth and a sturdy base, which makes it easy to mix liquids in and to scoop liquids out with the ladle, right? You're not gonna lift this up and pour liquid out of it, like a pitcher. So we can tell it's a krater. The word calyx refers to the overall shape of the vessel, which spreads out like a flower's calyx. That's the cup-like part of the flower. Other craters are shaped more like bells or columns, so that would be a bell crater, that would be a column crater. The main decoration on this calyx krater is a procession of 3 women. The first one at the far right is holding a torch, the middle one is carrying a lyre, which is a kind of portable harp, and the final one on the left is holding 2 objects that are sacred to the followers of Dionysus, the god of wine. One of those objects is a THYRSUS, which is a pine cone tipped staff, and the other is a KANTHAROS, which is a high-handled drinking cup. These 2 objects are a clue that she's a MAENAD, or a female follower of Dionysus. You can tell, again, from the shape of the vessel that it's made to mix and hold large amounts of water and wine, and the painted decoration on this vessel matches what it's used for too, in that it depicts worshippers of Dionysus, again the god of wine, participating in a ritual devoted to him. So this piece of pottery is called a red-figure calyx krater, because of how the figures on it are painted. These aren't orange figures painted onto a black background. These are all actually black marks that are painted on the natural red-orange surface of the clay that's used to make this ceramic vessel. Any orange that you see is actually an unpainted area. So today we're going to make a useful container like this one from everyday household materials and decorate it using this same red figure technique. All you need for this project is a cardboard tube, a pencil, and a Sharpie. You might need a box cutter to cut it down, or you can use black paint and a paintbrush if you don't want to use marker. The first step is to decide how you want to use the cardboard tube. Just doing a quick search online, I found all kinds of uses for cardboard tubes. You could use it as a pencil holder, a vase for plants, something to protect drawings. You roll them up and put them in there. You can use it as a plastic bag holder, a cord organizer. There's all kinds of things you can do with it, so just decide how you want to use your cardboard tube first of all. Once you know how you want to use it, carefully cut it down so that the size of it is best for the job that it's going to perform. Using a pencil, you want to sketch out your drawing on the cardboard tube. Keep it pretty simple. Create your drawing with lines only. You don't want to use any shadows. Whatever you decide to draw, try to have your picture be a clue about how you're going to use your decorated cardboard. So I'm going to use mine to store plastic bags from the grocery store, from the pharmacy, which I try to save and use for cat litter. So I'm going to base my drawing on this painting of a cat that I found from this ancient Greek vessel, and I'm also going to decorate it with rosettes, which is a common design motif you see in ancient Greek art and as far back as Mesopotamian and Egyptian art. So I can smell happy thoughts, when I'm using this thing. So have this be a rough sketch when you are planning it out with a pencil. We'll have a lot of opportunities to clean it up when we cover it with our marker or paint, and we can also go back in and erase any stray marks that are left over after the fact. When you're planning out your drawing, try to save some room for some patterns that go all the way around. Remember, we learned how to draw these meander patterns back in episode 1. So after your drawing is sketched out, use your paint or marker to outline your drawing, and then you want to just color in the background. Keep the insides of your drawing the color of the cardboard, and just use black for details and the background. So it's a simple idea, just coloring the background all black like this, but a couple of interesting things happen when you do this. It creates a lot more contrast between the figures and the background, so they stand out from the background much more than if you were to just leave it a line drawing. And then also, because we're using the same color for the background that we used for our outlines, you're basically covering up your outlines when you shade in the background like this. So your drawings do look a little bit more natural. They no longer have an outline, they're just these brown shapes now in a black background. Once everything is shaded in, you're totally done. I definitely got a deeper appreciation for these patterns that go all the way around these Greek vessels. Something I never thought about before until today when I was actually making one of these, is that these patterns do have to connect. You're going to start them in one space, but as you're drawing around, eventually you're going to meet back up with where that drawing began, which is kind of hard to plan out. So as you're getting close to the edge of your pattern, slow down and definitely try to think about, okay, do I need to make these a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller as I get closer and closer to the first part of the pattern, so that it forms this nice even connection that goes all the way across. Even drawing the cat and the little rosettes, it was difficult drawing on this curved surface, so I definitely got a deeper appreciation for all of those paintings on those Greek vessels. I found this Red-Figure Calyx Krater in The Making of a Museum, 100 Years, 100 Works from the Tampa Museum of Art. The Tampa Museum of Art has been around in one form or another for 100 years. In this book, you can read about the history of the Tampa Museum of Art and see photos of the 100 works of art that best represent the museum's collecting history and mission. The collection is unique, with significant holdings of ancient Greek and Roman art, as well as an increasing amount of modern and contemporary art, so art that's really old and art that's really new. This selection of 100 works features a wide range of objects that present a unique insight into how the collection and identity of the museum have evolved as it grew from a small local arts organization to the city of Tampa's preeminent museum of art, and copies are available during regular business hours at the museum store. Thank you so much for learning and making with the Tampa Museum of Art. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss future videos, and I'll see you next week.